Hello everyone and welcome. This video is part of a series on using Dell Compellent Enterprise Manager for Storage Center administration. In this video I'll be demonstrating how to set up a storage center threshold definition using Enterprise Manager. Before we get started, I want to explain what a threshold definition is and what it's used for. In Storage Center, threshold definitions are used to monitor metrics on I/O usage, storage, and replication. Each definition contains user-defined thresholds, and when those thresholds are crossed, alerts are generated. These alerts can be emailed to storage administrators as well as viewed on the Storage Center. Now, let's get started on creating a threshold definition in Enterprise Manager. To get started, we need to log into the Enterprise Manager client. Once the client comes up, on the left-hand side, select Threshold Alerts, and then in the middle, select the Definitions tab. Right now I don't have any definitions defined, so I need to click the Create Threshold Definition button on the right, and we can assign a name to this, and we'll call this Demo Definition. And now I need to select the type of definition this is going to be. I mentioned earlier that there's three types of definitions. There's the I/O usage, storage, and replication. Now if you want to select the I/O usage, you use that to monitor read and write I/O performance on the Storage Center. If you select storage, you can use that to monitor the use and growth of storage. And if you select replication, this just monitors the status of replications on the Storage Center. I'm going to select storage. Next, we have to select the alert object type. And for the storage type listed above, we have the options of Storage Center, Volume, Storage Type Tier, and Storage Type Class. If I were to select a different type for the definition, such as I/O usage, my options here would be different. So the alert object type, I have different options now: Storage Center, Volume, Server, Disk, etc. And these change depending on the type you choose. I'm going to go back to storage for the type. I'm actually going to change this to volume for the alert object type. And then I need to select the alert that I want to use. In this case, we have 5 options: percent used, actual space, replay space, active growth, and replay growth. I like percent used. I'm going to leave that. Now, if I were to check this box for all objects, basically what that's going to do is assign alerts for everything that's in this alert definition to this object type that we selected. I don't need to do that for everything, so I'm just going to leave this at percent used none, leave that box unchecked. It should be noted that if you do check this box, you cannot change the value after the fact. You need to create a new threshold definition to select a specific alert definition. Moving on, let's go to the notification settings. You have the options to set values to send alerts for errors, warnings, and general information. You can check the box to send an email as well as generating an alert, and you can also set how many iterations a certain alert must occur before an email is sent. In this case, I'm going to create an error message when my volume is 90% full, and I do want to send an email, and I want to send that immediately, so the first time it happens I'd like to send an alert. We'll set the warning settings for 75%, send an email for that, and when my volume is full I'd like to get an informational message sent to me. So you'll also see that there is the recommended storage center box here. And really what this is it generates a volume advisor recommendation to move one or more volumes to a different storage center. And this is only available for threshold definitions that support volume advisor. This definition doesn't support that, but if I were to change this to storage center, you'd notice that I'd had the option to enable that. We're going to set that back to volume. And moving on, we have the settings now for the schedule. And if I wanted to set a time constraint on this, so basically this monitor would only run between these times set here between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. I could set that. I'm going to uncheck that box and just let it run 24 hours. And I can also set the day constraint, which means that if I check the enabled box here, this monitor will only run on the specific days that I have checked. So we'll have it run on the weekdays. I'll click OK. And then I need to add the object to this, and that's the storage center. And because I'm monitoring volumes, I also have the option to select all the volumes on the storage center, all volumes in a specific folder or container, or selected volumes. I'm going to click Select Volumes and then click Next. And this is a list of all the volumes that are on my storage center. There's quite a few here, but all I want to do is monitor the first 3. So I'm going to click OK, click Finish. And then now you'll notice that my demo definition is now out here and it is running. And if you look on this, it says it's active, so it is running. And the day constraint is set to only run on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If I want to edit the settings for this demo definition, all I need to do is highlight it and select Edit Settings. And we can change some of the things we set. We cannot change the storage volume percent used. We'd have to create a new definition for that. But I can set the notification settings and the percentages. I can change those, as well as the schedule settings. If I wanted to add objects, which means I'd like to monitor extra volumes than I already have, I can click Add Objects. I then need to select the storage center and select the option for which I'd like to change. And I will change Select Volumes. Click Next. I'm going to scroll down and choose a few different volumes here to add as well. These three look good. Then click Finish. I can always change anything else by clicking the Edit Settings button or clicking Add Objects if I need to add even more volumes to this definition. I also have the option to delete this definition if I'd like, and I can always go ahead and add more threshold definitions by clicking the button on the upper right here that says Create Threshold Definitions. That concludes this video on using Dell Compellent Enterprise Manager to set up a Storage Center threshold definition. For more information on Dell Compellent Storage Center and Enterprise Manager, including documentation and videos, please visit www.delltechcenter.com. Thanks for watching.